I'm always messing about with lights, trying to make the interior of my house look very natural because it is actually quite dark. Anyway, light will be an important part of the second half of this video. But the first half, I wanted to talk about style because I'm interested, as you know, in traditional things, and it's part of my quest for Englishness. I want to look back. I want to get a grab of something when I feel the period of Englishness meant something to me. And in that route, I'm thinking about my style, how I look on camera, because that will reflect not only my personality, but also my sense of Englishness. So you may have noticed I've started to wear cravats. They're very fashionable, and they have been fashionable for, I don't know, 300, 400 years, even longer possibly. They started in Croatia, of all places, as a sort of necktie, I understand, so that the fighting forces could be observed which one, the families of the fighting forces could work out which ones with that little bright colour of red. That's what I understand on the history of the Croat, as I believe it was called. However, spin forwards and a lot of English people started to wear cravats and it became very fashionable. And even the film stars, Dirk Bogarde, Michael Caine, Gene Wilder, many of them were sporting these, and it looks very dapper. I believe Terry Thomas has worn a cravat from time to time. So I've bought these here. This is a cravat. If you've never worn one, this is the sort of thing. This is an ascot cravat, I think made famous because of the race course. And you tie them around. It doesn't have to be this. You could tie all sorts of things around. A piece of silk, a pocket square, I think you could turn into a cravat. And I just it's rather dignified. I think it looks rather splendid. So not only that though, I've also found something else that I want to sort of look back at with my style, my on-screen style, if you like. I've bought myself another jacket. Now I like my blue jacket, you know, my Harris tweed. That's absolutely fantastic. But I just thought I'd go down into the town, have a look at the modern shops and see if there was anything. You see, I don't particularly want to necessarily wear completely vintage clothes, and I know people who do that. I think that would limit what I want to do, because I want to have a look at what is Englishness from the past and embrace it today. So I found this very stylish jacket, I think, and I like it. It fits me very well. Some of my older suits and jackets, I've lost a lot of weight, especially since I've been on my new diet, don't you know. And I think it's rather nice. It's a grey charcoal jacket and I can wear it with pretty much anything. And it all brings out the colours, which is nice. I like my tank tops. These are sort of your 1930s, 1940s tank tops, knitted, handmade, let me let you know, by the wonderful Mary Hammond. So I'm sort of not necessarily looking for vintage, but I am looking for that retro feel so that I can go about my business and be taken seriously at times without looking as if I've stepped out of a 1940s film. That said though, I think about something on my head, and I've been experimenting with hats. So I've got 3 hats to show you, and you can give me your opinion, see what you like. You're probably far more fashion dressed and conscious than I am. So these are just hats that I've had loitering around. In fact, one of them was a recent gift. We'll come on to that in a second. The first hat, I've always wanted to be able to carry off wearing a trilby or a wide-brimmed hat, but they really just don't suit my type of face look. Here's one I got from Debenhams. This is when it was working. This is a sort of trilby-like hat. It's actually only made of wool, so it was relatively cheap. But I used it in some of my performance stuff as a, I can't remember, I think as a Chicago gangster, I think originally it was purchased. Anyway, so that's that. But I, you know, with the glasses and my round head and I don't know, I'm not quite convinced. that I carry this off terribly well. It's a lovely hat, and I think there are people with more angular faces who sort of manage to do it very good. Okay, let's move on to another hat. Now this one was given to me by one of my viewers, actually really for a different character that I occasionally, haven't done for years, do, and that's Farmer Piles. This is the old flat cap. Now, I've seen a lot of people wearing these sort of things, and they can look rather dapper. In some respects, I think I feel now dressed like this a bit like Toad of Toad Hall in his motor car, travelling along like one of those 1920s. I say, old chap, honk, honk. All of that sort of honk, honk. All great fun. I don't know, does it make it kind of, I feel a bit spivvy. You could do that and make it a bit Norman Wisdom. Mr. Grimsdale, Mr. Grimsdale, they're breaking all our bottles. You could do that. I don't think that would be terribly wise. That's what it's like in profile, and so on and so forth. But I think that might be perfect for Farmer Piles, but I'll take your vote on that. The only other hat that I had, it was a bit of a whim. It's a bit battered and a bit old-fashioned, but it certainly looks back, and I have been wearing it a little bit around the house just to see what I think, and that is the old bowler. Yes, this is an old traditional bowler, but it's seen a lot of, it's very battered now, as you can see. It's seen a lot of wear, this thing. It does make me look a little bit like a chimney sweep, of course. A top hat would have been better for a chimney sweep. All right, Mary Poppins. But I think it's quite dignified. It goes with the black jacket quite well. And, of course, it's not a derby like Laurel and Hardy used to wear, but it does have a sort of a little, as it were, a little tip. Is it a tip or what do they call it? Where you it's I can't remember the term now. It's a term where you it's a little tip to Laurel and Hardy, as it were. But who knows? Anyway, they're the hats that I've been thinking about. Rather dapper. What? I've met Julia today at Sullington Church, because you come here, don't you, Julia,
yes,
to do a little bit of your
my singing at the barn.
At the barn. Anyway, and we've spoken about that in other videos and various things. And I knew Julia was going to be here because I wanted to get her opinion, because you're a bit of a, well, you're a woman.
Yeah.
Women are fairly fashion conscious, but it's not so much fashion, style. And you have a very distinct style.
So I'm told. Yeah.
You like the colour purple. I think we can establish that.
And this colour.
And
various shades of teal. And turquoise, yeah.
Yeah. And they go together very well, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm very much drawn to colours.
Yes.
Certain colours bring out, make me happy as such.
Absolutely. And of course it is very stylish when you've got the right colours that coordinate and look good together. So that's why I wanted to talk to you.
And I must commend you on your colours today. I like the teal kind of colour, and then you've got this lovely green shirt with the red stripes. The green kind of, not blends, but lends itself to the turquoise, and then you've got the red stripe, which lends itself to the red cravat, which I must say looks very dapper.
And you helped me choose the cravats, which was very nice, and as I've shown the lovely viewers already, the three colours that I've got so far, and the thing is, you get sort of excited and then you start to look for more and things like that. So I dare say that, but I really like the cravat. As soon as I put it on, I thought, hey, this is me. And then this jacket, which I've already explained, this is something that can go with a lot of colours, which is great because it makes the colours pop a bit.
That's right, yes.
And it's a nice shape.
Yes, I was going to say the fit is much better. I mean, the shoulders actually fit your shoulders this time.
I've lost weight and the other ones just have got a bit baggier. I mean, they haven't grown or anything, but
no.
they look baggy on me.
There's less of you for it to cover.
Exactly.
So it hangs differently. It doesn't show off your slender figure now.
Thank you very much. So I'm trying to have this retro look back without necessarily, as I was saying to the audience earlier, without wearing period costumes and then being defined or limited on what was there. It's more of that nod
Yeah.
back to the past, because obviously I don't live in the past, but
No.
I'm interested in the old-fashioned ways.
You want to cherry pick all the good,
Exactly.
nice little snippets and bits of it.
And same with the things that I'm looking at, and the things like old churches. It's an old church, but I'm in modern day times. So hats. I've been walking about here with my the favourite of the 3 hats that I've got that work, and that's a bowler hat. What did you think?
Yes, I like the shape of the bowler hat, and like you say, it is a nice nod to 2 of your heroes of such,
Yes.
aren't they?
And the thing is, you don't see people wearing them.
No, they're not common, and they just smarten up, an outfit. They just bring it together.
So
I mean, that's what hats do, but
Yes.
the bowler hat is just...
and because we've tried a few hats on, not as many as we would like.
No, I'd love to find a nice milliner around here somewhere and go out, and try on a few different styles with you.
Yeah.
Properly made, not these fashion,
No,
made
like
of
the cheap felt
Yes,
or wool
exactly.
or whatever it is.
I mean, they're nice. They're nice for a little bit of costume, but when you actually want it to be part of your
Practical,
your
everyday,
outfit, your wardrobe.
Yes, exactly. But I might invest in a bowler hat. I've walked about and I met you with your friends at the Coral. I didn't feel a complete prune with the hat. I thought I might look a bit, feel self-conscious, but I
Yeah.
didn't. Did you feel that
No, it was
out of
lovely when
place?
you stepped out from the lane there.
And nobody sort of stared at me going, oh my God, what are you wearing?
No, I think you had a few admiring glances.
And it went well with the cravat?
Yes.
And the jacket.
It's just a lovely silhouette.
Yeah.
The hat. I mean, I
I'm
do
better
like
in
a good silhouette. No, I do like a good silhouette in an outfit.
So, and there's lots of little tiny bits that one can add to it, like a little hanky
And tie pin.
and maybe cuffs. I'm not trying to look.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to look overtly dapper or overtly snobby and posh and like Savile Row type.
Or too sophisticated.
Or too
anything like that.
sophisticated. There's that sort of old-fashioned everyman. That's what I'm looking for.
But the cravat has quite an interesting history, but what I like about it is it's got a sense of modesty about it, because I think it kind of took off in England particularly, I think, because it meant that you could loosen the top of your shirt, but not show off, the cut of your neck.
Exactly. Well, anyway, thank you for that, Julia.
Or the line of your neck.
Thank you for
my
that.
pleasure. It's been lovely to see your lovely face on a lovely sunny day on a lovely Sunday.
There we go. I think that's it. Yep. Perfect. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that lights would be involved in this and play a part. Well, that is because I just wanted to thank one of my lovely viewers who's very kindly bought me some lights. He said, please don't say who it is. Doesn't want to have his name announced, but he's very kindly bought me a couple more lights because, as you know, or maybe you don't, I use lights to film in the kitchen and in the house and all the domestic stuff because my house is actually quite dark, and so I've got a light out there which simulates daylight that I like to bring in and make it look like the sun is coming through, and then I have another light over there which is just uplifting a little bit onto the me so that you can see me a little bit. But it is very useful to have extra lights so that you can light certain areas all the time. And he's very kindly bought me 2 of these and what we call a soft box, which is this. Here is these are the newer lights. They're relatively inexpensive, but not, they're not free. These are great. I've been using them for ages now, and they are fantastic. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much for these wonderful lights. They are brilliant. They've made such a difference. In the old days, I used to have the halogen lights, which we'd call blondes and redheads, and they were hundreds of pounds, almost £1,000 just to get 3 lights. So when I say inexpensive, we're still talking a considerable outlay. So I'm absolutely chuffed. Thank you so much. They're really good. And these run on batteries. You can see on here, there's a battery You can plug them in the mains, which of course I do, but you can also run them on batteries just to give you an extra bit of lift. So you can have, what I'm struggling here to do, is a little bit of backlight in the videos. Obviously, it's not going to make much sense on this, and this is probably all a bit bright. And the reason I use lights is because it's still part of that style of trying to emulate daylight and bring in my house a sort of slightly oldie-woldy feel as I have my retro look back at what I'm looking for in England. News update. This is the next day from the bit where I was with Julia, by the way. I've ordered now a bowler hat. I looked online, there's a company I think called Lock & Co in London, and you can buy a genuine rabbit skin bowler hat, £445. So I bought 3. No, of course I didn't. So I bought myself a relatively inexpensive wool felt one to see how I get on with it. I'm not going to invest a huge amount of money like that because that's barking. Maybe if it goes down well, I'll buy a decent hat. This one is so wrecked. So this has been just a good experiment. Now, I need to go upstairs because I want to show you one other item in today's video that I'm going to be doing in order to sort out my style. Note, different cravat, different jumper. It's the following day. Lovely shirt, jacket still goes with it. Let's go upstairs and I'll show you what I mean. So we're up in my bathroom and I've selected from a rail, not my costumes, which are over there, and I need to go through those, but from my bedroom, a whole load of jackets that I've had over the years that I've been very fond of. But because I've lost a lot of weight, they just hang on me. And they're just not as good a fit, and it's time to throw them away. Let me show you what I mean. So here's the first one. It's quite nice. I like it, but it's tatty. This one I used in the Bald Explorer early videos. It's quite nice. It kind of still fits, but it's seen its days. This is the original Bald Explorer jacket from my long format documentaries, and this one, yeah, this now just hangs off me. I've obviously lost a lot of weight. I'll be sorry to see this go, but it might go to a better home. This one I bought to go to have a meeting with a television executive about a children's program. I wanted something bright and light. Again, lost the weight. It's a lovely jacket. It's just too big. I went to America in this. It was a lovely jacket for wandering around America. It's enormous. This is a corduroy jacket. I've done some Bald Explorers in this, and again, I quite like it. Makes me look like a college professor. I think I bought it for about £3. This is a charity shop purchase. I don't know why I bought it. It was too big when I bought it. This one was part of a 3-piece suit with a waistcoat. Absolutely loved this jacket. It's frayed at the edges. It's too big, but it was wonderful. The trousers went first in the knees, and it's time to say goodbye. It'll probably end up as rags, which is a shame. I think I'll stick with my new jacket, and I look forward to purchasing new garments which will go as part of my new style and my new look. Thank you so much for watching. I've got to get those down to the charity shop now and hope that they'll take them off my hands. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, become a patron, support what I do, and I'll be out and about with more, hopefully, interesting videos on my quest for England. See you next time. Bye-bye.